Dun, dun. All right, people. We are live. So good evening. As we get back to the stream, it is Tuesday. This guy about to tell the Flyers are playing once again. They are playing against the Habs, the Montreal, the Montreal Canadiens. That is what they call themselves. The Habs, or is it Habs or Habs, wherever they call themselves. And I really hope for a bounce back win for the Flyers because now they lost 3 straight, and that really sucks. Hold on a second. I gotta do this real quick. I gotta do my transition. All right, let me go do this transition real quick. All right. Oh shoot! I asked the wrong way. What the frick? Where'd that come from? Wait, hold on. There we go. The worst war in the world. Calm the frick on, man. Don't fail.
Let's just freaking see how far we can get, I guess. I want to make it to 3.
Nope, dead.
It's not going to happen because I suck a lot. It's okay. We got a character. Let's see who it is. Who is it?
Mr. No Head Eyeballs.
Who is it? Mr. No Head Eyeball. Who is that even? Is that the guy?
Mr. No Head Eyeballs.
In existence, sir. Or sir. But we accomplished something today. I accomplished something today. I don't know if you consider it an accomplishment. Maybe you freaking finished this game a year ago. I don't want you to do. I'm happy. Thanks for watching. More Dumb Ways to Die coming soon. We're gonna finish this eventually. Slowly but surely. My heart can only take so much of it in one day. Thanks for watching. Hi YouTube. Today I played some more Dumb Ways to Die, but I'm really excited because this game just got an update and there's new mini games and I'm freaking stoked about it. So let's freaking do this. I don't even care about getting a character in this game. I just want to play the new games. Mr. Potage, you're not in a new game, you silly sausage. What do you know with that? When did you get hard? Freaking balls. Stop the run. Hold a finger over every hole. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Oh my god. Oh, that's so hard. Wow. Okay, so that's one of the new ones. The freaking moose hunting or whatever that guy's doing. That was awesome. I actually don't press the red button. I'm pressing it. Everything exploded. Okay, so you're really not supposed to press it then. Tap the screen at the right time. Oh my god. Oh my god. So I think those were the 3 new ones, and they all just killed me. So let's freaking try that again, I guess. Alright, we gotta duck at the right time. Oh, I get it. That's pretty cool, dude. That's actually really awesome. Put candy on me. Even more awesome. Dude, he's a pinata. Put a finger on it. Put a finger on it. Oh my god, this is like Twister. The moose is in up with me. Oh my god, this is so
And
exciting.
black screen.
This is so exciting.
Black screen.
Mr. Plane, just let me down. Oh my god, you made it stop recording like you always do. Why do you always do that? Dang it, Mr. Plane, why do you always mess up? freaking program. Alright, let's do this. We're gonna do one then. Get out of the road, you oldies. No oldies, those are the classics. Oh god, I'm so excited about this. Way too excited if you can't tell. In most people's eyes. Especially Mr. Potato, because he's got a winky eye. He just knows. Don't press. Okay, I'm not pressing it. There we go. Rainbows around the world. Freaking awesome. That's the easiest one ever. Which I like. Mr. Barf, why are you trying to rain on my parade by making it all barfy? You're raining on my parade with your vomit. Alright, we got enough. No, dang it. It's hard. Not really.
Alright.
This is so exciting. Stop the bluff. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Worst finger choices ever.
Dead.
Did
Nope, you're dead.
That one's freaking hard, but I love it.
Worst finger choices ever. Mr. Plate. I like how it gets close. Alright, let me go ahead and do this real quick. Not Black Friday. Woof.
Don't flex, nigga. Stand still. I said don't flex. Get your bitch ass up right now while I bust your head wide open. Don't flex, nigga. Stand.
I do.
If the balls touch the spike, they disappear. The spike gets 5% faster every second. If the balls touch...
All right. May as well just have my own food for lunch or dinner, I guess. I really don't have much of a choice anymore, I guess. Because I just don't want to have leftovers. Because I haven't had my own food in a while now. So it makes sense on why. Yeah, but the thing is that I have to wait until it gets cooked. Because that means, I have to put it, like in the Ninja, and then wait until it starts cooking. You know? Boop, boop. What the frick? One of these days I need to cut my frickin' nails.
Yeah, what did I ever do to you, science? Scream in your ear. Mr. Plane, if you stop my program again, I'm gonna have to scream in your ear. What did I ever do to you, science? Scream in your ear, I guess. Which, it's not that annoying, trust me. I'm screaming in other people's ears at the same time, so it's not like you're alone. Mr. Boss, I'm getting sick of your those. Honestly, you're lucky I don't freaking care about winning today, and I just care about playing and advocate. Advertisements, I'm okay with it. You can advertise all you want because you made the best game in the world. Just realized.
Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna make my food. I'll be right back. Then I actually have to wait for my food to be cooked. I gotta wait for my food to be cooked. In the Ninja, of course. I'll be coming back up here with my food. Well, I can't come back with my own food. I'll be getting my food. Lord. Wait, what the frick? Oh, so my iPad's off. What the frick? Oh, I am actually still here. Coincidentally enough, may as well just turn on my little power on my iPad. Coincidentally enough. So it looks like the Sixer. Yes, so of course my food's being cooking right now. Yeah, I got some dollar nuggets and I have some. Well, because I didn't have enough fries, so I'm doing. So I'm doing both of fries and damn it, fries and tater tots. Or I guess or either brand. Yeah, or Dita bread or whatever the frick it is. What's up, Nico? What's up, Nico? Fruit punch, fruit snacks. I'll mix up so I can have at least like the. Yeah, I'm gonna have some, like a snack right now that I'm gonna eat food. Yeah, it's gonna be done in like 20 minutes, so it should be okay. Is the Flyers on the radio? I doubt it. I doubt it.
Alex Texier.
Never mind.
Couturier tipped it to center ice, and on the move is Owen Tippett. Tippett was poke-checked. The defensive play there by Struble. He goes in and wins a physical battle with Struble, though. Tippett finally wrapped up on the wall, and the puck is free to Nick Suzuki. Little feedback behind the goal to Struble, and he'll headman up the left wing. Sam Bolduc bats it up the left wing. Suzuki on the move at the blue line. Good defensive play there by Emile Andre to thwart that. Knocked back into the Montreal zone. And Cole Caulfield gives it up. Carrier lays it up that right wing. It's in deep, and Andre goes back behind his own goal for it. Turn, played it over to the far wall. That just eludes Trevor Zegras. Thrown at the net, and Podar's got to make his first save of the game. About a minute and 15 seconds in. Sam Bolduc in the left wing corner. He's the top line for Montreal. He's upended. Another good play by Andre. He's got to have a good game. Here in front, Caulfield took a shot. Glove saved by Dan Vladar. He tried to outweight Vladar, and Vladar just stayed right with him.
Yeah, Caulfield, a dangerous player in tight here. He makes a little move, and Vladar is not having any of this. This is a really nice play against a top player in Cole Caulfield. He makes this little move, and he thinks most players and most goaltenders are not going to fight and read this. Cole Caulfield, a good fake, makes that move to the outside. But right there, Vladar with the glove. That's a headsy play, and that's why we like Vladar so well.
Caulfield leads the Canadiens with 17 goals scored. Flyers control, and Rasmus Ristolainen on the ice for the first time since last March. He wraps up a man along the near boards, and it's flipped over the head of the Canadien and back into the Montreal zone. Lane Hudson goes back for that. To Oliver Kapanen. He is the nephew of Sammy Kapanen. Off the skate of the Bobby Brink. At the line to get it to Risto. Thrown on goal, and Father's going to make a save and then steer that loose puck off his pad in the air in front of him.
Well, welcome back. Rasmus Ristolainen gets his first shot and his first little reps in. And I'd imagine the coaches will use him sparingly. It's been a long time he's been out. That's a big body back there. Obviously, they want to get him minutes up into 20, 25 minutes a game, but
Boy, he has been chomping at the bit to get back in there. And with such limited practice time, it's not like he can really gear up for this the way he otherwise would. This is going to be kind of thrown into the fire.
You know, we're going into the summertime after the way that Ristolainen ended. He was kind of a bright spot on the back end for the Philadelphia Flyers. There was going to be a good start to the start of the season if he would have stayed healthy, nonetheless. It's good to have him back now.
Matt Michkov with the new line. He's got Bobby Brink up the right wing. Brink scored twice against Montreal in November. Comes out from behind the goal and played it out right point. Ristolainen looking for a shooting lane. Threw it at the net, deflected wide of the goal. and taken away by Michkov from Carrier. Michkov back to the line, and Ristolainen's one-timer deflected up over the goal. Bobby Brink, a centering pass. Michkov gave it right back to him. Now Michkov tried to feed the blue line. That's picked off and headed the other way is Ivan Demidov. Demidov and Michkov have been compared to each other much of their young careers. Demidov was a first-round pick, and he's having a good rookie campaign. He's got 25 points. Arbor Xhekaj up the left wing. He comes into Montreal's lineup because already struggling with injuries. They're without Mike Matheson, maybe their best defenseman.
Oh, wow.
Up the left wing now. Foligno turned it out of his own zone. Now Montreal takes over. Engstrom fired it in deep behind Dan Vladar. Back for that is Emil Andre. Andre hangs on the puck, skates to the corner, and then chipped it off the glass. Arbor Xhekaj knocked that back to Brendan Gallagher, and Gallagher skates in. Turned on the wall, protecting the puck, and leaves it in behind the net. Andre scooped it into the corner. The loose puck picked up here by Sean Couturier, and the Fire captain carries to the Montreal line. Took a shot up his block. Couturier's line mates just getting back out onto the ice after a change, and lifted by the Habs out the center. Right into the middle. Cam York turned it over. Texier comes back in, but can't complete a pass. Couturier gets it from Tippett. They hit the Montreal line together. Couturier tried to thread a pass into the middle, broke it up by Noah Dobson on a good play.
That was a nice play. Owen Tippett had inside position on the 2-on-1, so Couturier's trying to get that pass across. Dobson just picks it off with his hand.
Suzuki can't find it at the Philadelphia line. Now the Flyers will roll it wide of the net. Fowler out of the goal aggressively gets it to Hudson. At center ice, Suzuki upended. Good open ice hit there by Rasmus Ristolainen. And the Flyers are in. Zegras pulled up with a shot, and it's deflected up over the glass and on a play. How about that, though, for your first game back? Risto just blew up Nick Suzuki.
Yeah, he's looking good. Risto's got a good stride in him. Got out there on the ice quickly. Didn't even hesitate. A nice clean head. And, you know what I mean? Coming back into the lineup, there's nothing better than either receiving a hit or giving a hit to get yourself in the game. And I think Risto's been on the other end. In the giving end, to get himself going. He's had a few shots on net already, too. And that's one thing you miss back there is Risto has a really uncanny ability to get the puck through to the net when he shoots that puck.
Suzuki went back to his teammates and who the hell was that hit me? When you get hit by Rasmus Ristolainen, you kind of know.
Ristolainen, he's got that Viking in him.
Risto is paired with Nick Seeler, so that'll be an interesting physical third D pair. Now they're ready for this face-off. The former Canadian, Christian Dvorak, in to take the throw. You don't think Montreal misses Dvorak? They've all talked about it today. They've had some struggles with injuries and some other issues. Dvorak was very well liked here. Rolled down the wall. Dvorak had to kick off his skate. Zegras kept it alive for Konecny at the line. Ristolainen holds it in. He's hit Zegras down low into the left wing corner. Trying to get away from Lane Hudson. Zegras, a centering pass deflected right to a Canadian. And here comes Montreal headed the other way. It's Suzuki up the left wing. He's got Lane Hudson driving the net. Cross-ice pass. Caulfield had it banded away from him. And Konecny jumps the other way. Konecny's pass into the middle is gloved by Suzuki. And the Canadiens take over.
That's twice now. The Canadiens actually gloved down cross-ice east-to-west passes the Flyers have tried making.
Montreal waits, makes a change, and now they come up from behind their own goal. Arbor Xhekaj on the left wing. Sends it in deep into the far corner. Slafkovsky braces for a hit, bounces off Noah Cates, and then rolls it to Demidov in behind the net. Demidov looking to get it in front. He had Oliver Kapanen in there and couldn't get the pass there. Broken up with the Flyers. Michkov hits the Montreal line. Tried to leave it on the left wing for Cates. That was behind him. And the Canadiens rapid ahead to center ice. Slafkovsky's late in his shift. He'll just wind it in deep. Philadelphia hurries back for that Michkov. Checked there by Kapanen. Sanheim dishes it up the boards, and Bobby Brink starts out. Gets into the middle. Here's Noah Cates at the red line. Sends it in wide of the Montreal cage, and the Flyers will change up. Still the early going of the opening period. Flyers and Habs no score. Here comes Montreal out of their own end. Struble on the left wing to Xhekaj, and Xhekaj fires in. Out on a fourth line with Brendan Gallagher and Joe Veleno.
Valeno trying to fight through a check, gets it up the boards, can't keep it in Montreal, though. They got to back to their own zone. Now up the right wing, Owen Beck sends it in deep. Ladar will stop it behind his own goal for Travis Sanheim. Well, a good pace to the start of this game. Both coaches used the same word this morning in talking about what is going to be required. It was urgency. And Marty St. Louis says that's been missing sometimes for Montreal. Quick shot by Gallagher, wide of the net, their own rebound. He let the backhand shot go. Didn't get a lot on that. Kind of fluttered, and Brodeur gloves it.
Well, there is a little bit of a difference in the approach. The pressure that they're used to seeing in the last two games, Flyers necessarily is going to be there, but the speed will be. What I mean with that is they want puck possession. They want to hold that puck. Montreal, it's going to be a little more freewheeling for the Philadelphia Flyers if they want to contain and carry that puck.
All right, we get a timeout on the ice. No score in the first in Montreal on the Philadelphia Flyers broadcast network.
Cool. I like that song. I just like this song actually. It's so catchy. I mean, it's not really popular, but
Yeah, one of those offensive kind of trending to sometimes.
Flyers won that game in a shootout, which is becoming a bad term now because the Flyers have played, lost the last two that way. Flyers played a lot of overtime games, 13 games past regulation this season. Oh, and Tippett leads it up the middle. Falling was Grundstrom. And the Flyers fight to get it back at their own line. Again, Tippett in the middle. It centerized. Couturier lifts it. Grundstrom chases that down. That's one of the lines
No million.
that Rick Tocchet made. Grundstrom up with Couturier and Tippett. Grundstrom's just a hard worker forward the dirty areas. Going in on the end wall. Jake Evans is back there to help defensively. And the Habs break out. Turning back is Lane Hudson. He wants to allow his team to make a change up front. So Texier, Evans go to the bench. And the Habs bring out their top line, Suzuki, Caulfield, and Bolden. Suzuki left wing pass. Struble fired it around behind the Philadelphia net. Off of a Flyer. Andre recovers though, and he finds Zegras with that. And in the middle at center ice, here's Konechny, and he'll bump it in deep into the Montreal end. Dvorak goes in after it. They clear it up the board, but right to Cam York. Actually, it was Drysdale when he missed the net with a shot. Fired back down the wall, onto the corner. Konechny in front, Dvorak with a shot. That was blocked wide. That went off of Noah Dobson. Dobson was a huge pickup from the Islanders. Montreal's got pretty good depth at that blue line. Here's Drysdale on the near side, knocked away from him at center. On the loose, Mike Suzuki picked it up. He's got Bolduc, and Andre came up and blew him off the puck. Good open ice hit by Emil Andre. Konechny runs into Arbor Xhekaj and went down.
I was watching there. It's good to see him get back up quickly there. I'm just a little worried, Timmy.
The puck run into a wall, isn't it?
Yeah. Big man, Arbor Xhekaj. Nice little play, though, right before that. Emil Andre and Dvorak coming back on the back check.
Tipped in deep behind the Flyers goal. The Flyers get into the near boards at the line and hopped over the second Xhekaj. And across in front of the Montreal bench, Kapanen will push it to his defense. Engstrom will duck back in behind his own goal. Montreal's got 6 rookies in their lineup. They are the youngest team in the league. Big open ice hit again by Rastalainen. Wow. 2 of them in the first period of his first game. We got a penalty coming up on Montreal. And it's going to be on Ivan Demidov. He gets tangled with Ristolainen. He kind of responded to the Risto hit. Risto did the right thing and didn't react.
Yes, this is just a wonderful hit. Ristolainen. It's the holiday season, and he's back in the lineup, and he's delivering Christmas presents in the form of shoulders to the Montreal Canadiens. Good, clean hit. And you know what? Good to keep him wits about him, too, as Demidov comes after him there. Gets a free shot here. A nice cross check. Chris goes down on the ice with that cross check, and then the ref sees it, comes over. Doesn't take an extra shot at Demidov.
Good for Risto to show everybody what we've been missing.
Huh? It was a nice, clean, delivered hit.
And that's 2 of them in this opening period by Rasmus Ristolainen. He missed the last 16 games last season and the first 31 this year, having tricep surgery, and he's finally healthy again. Well, Flyers go on their first people power play. It's Cates and Brink up front with Tippett, Zegras, and Jamie Drysdale. That's your first power play unit. The Habs are able to clear all the way down there. Drysdale will go get that. Skates out from behind his own net, then dropped it to Tippett. In turn, he'll leave it for Zegras, and Zegras will dance up the middle. It's the blue line left wing pass. Cates unable to do much with that on the end wall. Owen Tippett wrapped up on the end boards. Montreal drags it free, and out they come, and a couple of players are caught behind the play. Josh Anderson up the right wing, and Bobby Brink gets back. Cuts him off, jams it in behind the net. The first one there is Jake Evans, and he's going to rang the puck out at center. Good play.
Yeah, Evans sees Dobson, the D-man, all the way down the other end, and from the offensive zone, shoots it down, kills off about 20 seconds here.
We're about halfway through this power play. Both teams have made a change. Here's Travis Konechny. He's got Couturier on the left wing. They hit the line together. Couturier slams the brakes on. He is tied up, though, by 2 Habs before he could play the puck. Gets it back to the line. York comes near his side. Matt Michkov back into the middle. York shot. The puck is right on. Pollard made 2 saves. The bouncing puck, and Michkov fired the next one wide. Sanheim on the far wall, turned away from Valeno. Couturier let it come into the near corner. Michkov batted back down on the unboards. They scrum for it there in the Montreal zone. It comes free, and the Canadians are able to clear.
These pucks are going in the favor of Montreal. They're getting good clears.
Ladar played it ahead to Michkov. He'll come skate back into his own zone, then try to cut across the green and runs into Jake Evans. And so the Flyers regroup. Power play about to expire. It's got 10 seconds left on it. Couturier on the left wing stepped in, trying to sneak it up the wall for Obels. He couldn't get through. Couturier clashes him in on the wall. Sanheim threw it at the net. That was blocked. Evans in the corner. Checked by Konechny. The penalty is over. Demidov is back out onto the ice, and he breaks it up at the line and jammed it to center. So the Flyers failed to score on their first power play chance. Still scoreless. Here in the opening period, Nick Delorier out with Abos and Hathaway. Hathaway goes crashing into the end wall. Knocked that puck free. Played it to the right half boards. Ristolainen knocked down a clearing attempt. Nick Delorier in there as well. Now it's free, and Engstrom skates out for Montreal. And that's England sends it in deep. Ristolainen behind his own net. Can't play it away. Texier feeds the right point. Engstrom skates to the middle and fell as he tried to take that shot that was blocked. And the Abos pushes it up the right wing. Nick Delorier, the former Canadian, backed in. They're going to say he was offside. We get a timeout on the ice. 8:03 to go here in the opening period. No score in Montreal on the Philadelphia Flyers broadcast network.
All right. What's this?
On its founding, it occupied half a continent. 30 seconds. Good luck.
Oh. International geography. Dang.
Evan Argyle in the middle has $7,600 and wrote down, what is Mongolia? It's not Mongolia, Evan. What did you wager? You'll drop down $5,001, leaving you at $2,599. Dave Widmeyer was in second place with $14,000. What state did you come up with, Dave? California, and I'm afraid it's not California either. What did you risk? Okay, small wager, $14,001, takes him down to $12,599. Ivana Lopez had the lead with $15,400. What did she come up with in final? Oh, it was going to be the Vatican, it looks like? No, this state was actually one of the states of Australia. New South Wales was originally the whole eastern part of the continent.
Ooh.
And now a smaller state. What did you wager, Ivana? She bet a lot. 14,600 will drop her down to 800. And it means Dave Widmeyer comes from second place and has a new lucky podium.
Yay.
Congratulations, Dave. We have one more finalist to crown tomorrow. We'll see you then.
All right. Cool. Finals begin tomorrow. Or, oh, actually, no. That's Thursday, sorry. Cut off again.
Life would be easier if we were upfront about our mental health.
Reacted, took a penalty, and really tried to sucker Briscoe into evening it up, and he wouldn't do it. Now a turnover at the line. Controlling Owen Tippett turned with a shot that was blocked, closed down by Caulfield, and he'll send Bolduc away at center ice. In at the Philadelphia line. Wrapped into the corner, jammed behind the net. Caulfield into the right wing corner. Back in behind the goal again. Suzuki goes net front. They get it to the line. Point to point. Chankai into the right circle. The one-timer and fired wide by Bolduc. Nicely set up. Bolduc just couldn't get to that on the one-timer. Nick Suzuki in his own zone plays it across, and the Flyers back out and change. 7:15 to go in the opening period. Scoreless here in Montreal. Flyers 1-3-2 here in the last, actually 1-3-1 here in the last 5 games. Here's a shot from the right circle and deflected up over the net. Bouncing puck in the left wing corner. Demidov kept it alive. Gets it back from Slafkowski. Banked it off the end board to himself to get free. And then runs into a man in the far corner. Stick goes flying. That belonged to Will Carrier. Picked up by Kapanen at the side of the net. Tried to spin in front, but Konecny plays that away. And here comes Philadelphia at center ice. Dvorak over the line. Zegras turns it in deep. Jam free. Konecny behind the goal line. Konecny trying to turn away from Lane Hudson. Into the slot. Sand over the shot. That got through. And Fowler made the save, and a penalty coming up. Dvorak upended right in front of the net. And as the Canadians touch up, the tripping penalty will be called. Here comes Philadelphia's second Pico power play chance.
Well, so many good things happen off of a shot taken. Ristolainen gets this one to Sanheim, gets this one off.
Go winner. Pikachu.
This person who goes by the name of, and this person is a frequent professional roller skater, Kim Manny.
Word?
Yeah, congratulations.
Time in York.
Frick.
They set up in the circle to the left of the Montreal goal.
This unit was at the start of the season, was kind of one of the first units when they originally had 2 D-men. It was the second unit, and then Drysdale obviously on the first one, but
On the draw, Couturier got it to connect. He tried to kick it back to the point, but it came out of the zone. Evans was looking for a penalty because he thought he had his stick held.
No.
Flyers start from their own line. Travis Konecny wheels up the middle with the Flyers needing to climb on for left wing pass. Couturier put the brakes on, feeds back up top. Sienheim point to point. York into the right wing corner that got away from Michkov. Lane Hudson runs into Couturier behind the net. Michkov trying to get it to Konecny, tip to the line, over to Sienheim, left circle, took that shot. He sailed it up over everything and then up in the leads the Flyers. He's got 4 power play goals and 11 points on the man advantage.
well, the first unit out there, everyone's tapping that puck, handling it well against the Michkov, and that one mishandle from that power play kind of takes away everything that you're working to set up. Got those jitters out of the hands a little bit for Michkov.
We'll use the football analogy that we used the other night. Winning special teams battles is kind of like winning the turnover battle in a football game.
Yeah.
Flyers have won the special teams battle once in the last 15 games.
Yeah, that's a good point. Terrible stat.
All right, I won't say it again.
No, it speaks to the problems that need to be addressed. You know, you can see the difference between a playoff team that's making it and getting out of the first round or not, based on the specialty teams and the production.
Tippett gets it back from Zegras. They step it over the line. It's the next unit. Bobby Frank was tied up, had it knocked away from him by Kapanen, and Philadelphia's going to retreat back into their own zone again. 50 seconds left. Here's Drysdale dropping it for Zegras. Zegras picks his way in over the Montreal line. Left wing for Cates. To the line. Drysdale in close quarters, kept it alive with Tippett. To the corner. Cates has got Brink going below the net, at least below the goal line. Played it up top. Tippett over to Drysdale. To Zegras in the base of the right circle. Brink in the bumper. Shot by Drysdale. Got through, and Fowler made the save. And bounces on Evans' puck.
Well, good job there. And that's who I want the puck on the puck.
Alright, let me go unplug my phone.
He's got
Watch
2
video.
options. Bobby Frank, who you said was in that bumper, he's a little closer than the hash marks, but in that same lane, he's got Drysdale as well. Zegras takes the selection of Brinker. Drysdale selects Drysdale for that one-timer, but again, when the goaltender can see that puck the whole way in, nobody's going to make that save, huh?
Next up's going to stay in the Montreal zone. 27 seconds left in the Will Carrier penalty. Couturier on the draw against Evans. Couturier watches as Evans gets tossed out of the draw now. Boy, it seems like every faceoff, somebody's getting thrown out. Josh Evans comes in against Couturier, won it. Konecny tipped it back to the line. York goes over to Sienheim, top left circle, down low. Konecny back up top, here's York with a shot and a save. The rebound is swept away from Couturier right in front of Fowler. Back out left point, Sienheim over to Cam York. York right corner, Matvei Michkov rolls up the boards, back to the line, gets it back from York. Michkov looking at the net, looking for a shooting lane, gives it over to York. York back to Cross, off the stick, Konecny then threw it on goal, but the penalty is over, and Montreal is back at even strength, and they control.
Oh, a few good looks, but you got to give it. Fowler made a tremendous save on the one. It was a point shot. It was actually redirected by Couturier in front. He still had the wherewithal to make that save.
Here's Gallagher up the far side with a shot, and Vladar's got to make a key save right after the Flyers' power play ended. Here's Nick Cedar ahead. Brunstrom is bumped, but he deflects it in, and Montreal goes back to that. 3:55 to go in this opening period. No score. Flyers have had 2 power play chances. They had 2 shots on both power plays and couldn't score.
Yeah, 2 shots is not enough production. They want to try getting that puck set up, but Montreal's doing a really good job of creating pressure in that kill that they have.
Owen Beck took a shot, not dangerous. Vladar made that bad save. And Nick Seeler will back into his own end as the Flyers try to get a change made. Fourth line comes out. Hobbles Hathaway and Delorier. Up the middle, they miss Hobbles with a pass. That should be icing against the Flyers. It is. 3:19 to go here in this opening period.
Did you hear the Boo Birds come out there? Well, that was happening right as Ristolainen was carrying that puck. They're already booing him as he's made an impression already coming back to the game from his long time off. You're getting boos from the crowd in Montreal. You're getting noticed out there on the ice, and you're doing your job, basically.
Good to see him back out there.
It is actually good. It's been a long time, and I knew he was hungry getting back into this. He started to get excited, see him around the rink a little bit more with the guys. And
Habs win the faceoff. Lane Hudson reverses directions in front, and Suzuki just missed the net with a one-timer. Tipped up the near side, but over the glass. That ends up on a play, and the faceoff remains in the Philadelphia zone. We get another timeout. Just over 3 minutes to play in what has been a scoreless first period. Flyers and Canadiens on the Philadelphia Flyers broadcast network.
97.3 ESPN FM, your home of Flyers hockey. Dear road rivals, let's talk about extra. Toyota offers tons of extra with Toyota Care. Our no-cost maintenance plan good for 2 years or 25,000 miles. No-cost oil changes, no-cost tire rotations, no-cost fluid level adjustments, and more. That's a whole lot of extra at no cost from Toyota. Kia and Ford charge extra for maintenance. And that's the kind of extra nobody needs. Try harder. Toyota.
Based on manufacturer's data, it's a free Ford 2025 covers all factory scheduled service for 2 years and 25,000 miles, whichever comes first. See participating dealer for coverage details.
You don't want to miss a moment of Flyers hockey on Broad Street this season. Catch all the biggest matchups, rivalry games, giveaways, and more. Experience it here, because Flyers hockey is better live. And the only place to watch is at Xfinity Mobile Arena. Get your tickets now, only at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com.
When this is the sound of a waterfall in nature, there's no cause for concern. But when it's the sound of water gushing through your living room ceiling because a pipe burst inside the wall, there's reason to panic unless you pick up the phone and call 1-800-SERVPRO. Only the cleanup and restoration specialists at ServPro can help make fire and water damage like it never even happened. So make the call to 1-800-SERVPRO at the first sign of water damage. Franchises are independently owned and operated.
This is South Jersey Sports Leader, 97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City.
it's on January 8th. Get your tickets at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com.
All right, so the Flyers and Canadiens are scoreless. The Flyers have out-hit Montreal 10-9. Rasmus Ristolainen has 2 of the 10 Flyer hits, and we know exactly who they were against, which says they stood out, and everybody in the building know about it. He first hit Suzuki in open ice, and then got Juraj Slafkovsky. That led to one of the Flyer power plays, which they were unable to take advantage of. Puck in behind the Flyer net. Upended was Drysdale. Caulfield trying to dig that puck free. Sampoldou will feed it out to the right point. They go point to point. Hudson down the boards or down the line. Flipped it in behind the goal. It's deflected, and Montreal tries to create from there. On the near boards, Tippett can't clear. Glove down by Hudson. Karam off his own man, and it will trickle the center. Tippett knocked it ahead and just failed to get to it to the Montreal line. Ham's unable to step in cleanly, and at center ice, it's pushed right wing. Jamie Drysdale stops and rolls it in behind the goal on the left wing corner. Carl Grundstrom for Couturier. He'll feed out left point. Andre is there. Sends it in behind the net. Couturier fighting 2 Habs back there. Gets it outright point to Sanheim. Sanheim shot. Deflected wide by Tippett. And the Canadiens lift it the other way. All the way up that right wing. Suzuki chases it down. He in the Philadelphia zone, but he was alone as the Habs were changing. Went behind the goal to Sanheim. Up the far boards. Deflected right back to Slafkovsky, and he put it onto a Flyer's stick. Beach off the other way. Gets it over to Bobby Brink. Brink stepped it over the line. Tried to leave it for Cates. Turns out of the corner. Leaves it on the boards for Matvei Michkov. To the point, Rasmus Ristolainen. Looking for Cates down low and upended hard into the end boards was the Montreal defender, Noah Dobson.
Yeah, he kind of went into his own accord, just blew a wheel there.
Yeah, kind of took it, didn't he?
Yeah, Bobby Rick was close to him, so it looked like he was checking him, but there was no check.
I'll tell you what, there was some question about Michkov playing with Brink and Cates, but that could be a really interesting trio.
Well, listen, they played a few shifts in preseason together. That first game in New York, and they had some success. I think they had a combined for 4 nights, but then they never seen the ice together after that game.
Well, as well connected as Brink and Cates are, Michkov might kind of get a little from their ball. Over the line, Josh Anderson gives it up. Montreal in front, they score! It's Alexander Texier, the newest Canadian. He beats Dan Vladar from between the circles, and Texier's got his 3rd goal of the season. That's his 3rd in 4 games. Montreal is taking the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, I don't think this pass has intention of being on Texier's stick. Nonetheless, he's in the same position and receives this on the forehand. It's actually supposed to be going. I think this pass is intended for 45. Alexander Carey, he's open up for the one-timer, but Texier is right there as well. Takes this one and snaps it home. Lagar's actually reading the one-timer, taking that away. But Texier, a little evasion, picks this one up and just wires this one over the shoulder of Lagar.
It'll be Texier from Evans and Anderson on the goal lead here in the opening period, and the Canadiens take the 1-0 lead. Flyers a league best 11-6-4 when they give up the first goal, and as ridiculous as it is to suggest, the Flyers seemingly have played better when they're trailing than they do when they lead a game. Just about a minute to go in the period.
Yeah, that's one of the weapons that Montreal has, is their ability to score off the rush. They like making plays upon entry into the zone. Here's an example right there. You've got a 4-man rush that develops in the neutral zone. That means 3 options for the puck carrier.
Texier's 11th game in the Montreal uniform, acquired after he was released by St. Louis. And he's contributed 3 goals in 4 games, his last 4. Habs with a 1-0 lead. Final minute of play in this opening period. Pushed in by Texier. And York goes back for that to the corner. Tippett outletting. He missed Brunstrom with that, but picked off that pass into the middle. Sanheim. And he'll head the other way. Right wing pass. Couturier for Tippett. Base of the circle. In front. They score. What a play. Oh, and Tippett in front. And it was Carl Brunstrom with new line mates. It's the same results. He gets his 3rd goal in a Flyer uniform. And the Flyers tie it with 21 seconds remaining in the first.
Yeah, just like that, the Flyers too can score off the rush. Brunstrom takes just the right lane. This is talking about Hockey 101. Fill all the lanes and go to the back door when you have it. And Brunstrom does just that, but a tic-tac-toe play from Couturier on entry down to Tippett. Tippett drops the shoulder, and once that lane opens up, a well-placed pass right on the stick of Brunstrom, and he makes no mistake potting this one in. What a nice goal. I was a little worried about that being offside. As they entered, it was kind of stopped.
3 goals in his last 5 games for Carl Brunstrom. Tippett and Couturier, and the Flyers get it back less than a minute later, 21 seconds later. And it looks like these 2 teams will go to the room after one, tied at 1. Texier from Montreal at the 19-minute mark snapped the scoreless tie, and Carl Brunstrom got it back. 21 seconds later, we're even at 1-1.
That's a good period by the Philadelphia Flyers on the road, and you know what? They've been really strong at providing good shifts after goals, whether they have one for them or against them. They tied it up with a good shift after a goal with Owen Tippett's nice play down low. Brunstrom, and what a nice goal for him. But that's where you want to be on the road, 1-1 going into the second period in Montreal.
All right, Flyers and Habs even after 20 minutes of play. Stay tuned, their first intermissions just ahead. Ryan Smith, Jason Martinez have that after these words on the Philadelphia Flyers broadcast network.
The home of Flyers hockey.
97.3 ESPN FM.
Everyone has a different craving. Wegmans Meals to Go has it all. All right now, all in one delivery. Pizza with your family's favorite toppings. A delicious sub made the way you love it. Fresh sushi for the whole group, and so much more. It's how everybody gets a delicious meal they'll love. Order on the Meals to Go app or at mealstogo.com to make everyone happy. Wegmans Meals to Go. All your favorite meals, all in one delivery.
From Westchester to Doylestown, from Drexel Hill to Lansdale to Philly, we all look out for each other, stepping up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years, and that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you. Learn more at IBX.com.
Fans, discover the Legacy Club in Cherryville, New Jersey, where every day is a chance to create lasting memories. From its stunning golf course to distinctive dining options and family-friendly amenities, the Legacy Club offers something for everyone. Whether you're perfecting your golf game, enjoying a gourmet meal, or attending their exciting social or family events, the Legacy Club is your happy place. Ask about their fall membership promotion today. For details, visit thelegacyclub.com. That's thelegacyclub.com.
Considering penalty score! Owen Tippett fires it home!
Hey Flyers fans, Owen Tippett here. Happy to be back as the ambassador for the Flyers Learn to Play rookie program presented by Holman. Open to boys and girls between the ages of 5 and 9. The Flyers rookie program includes head-to-toe equipment, weekly on-ice group lessons, and some great gifts. The program is available at 18 rinks throughout the greater Philadelphia region. For more information and to register, visit philadelphiaflyers.com/rookie program.
Philadelphia, you've waited for this moment. The unstoppable Cardi B presents Little Miss Drama Tour. Cardi B, live at Xfinity Mobile Arena, April 7th. Cardi's brand new album, Am I the Drama, is available everywhere now. Get tickets now at CardiB.com.
Conan Gray presents the Wishbone World Tour. Live in concert in Philadelphia. Conan Gray playing at Xfinity Mobile Arena March 2nd with special guest Isha Tawari. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. The radio home for Philadelphia Flyers hockey.
Go to Fred the puck and they score!
WNJ Casino of Atlantic City, 97.3 ESPN.
Sure, one period of play here at Bell Center in Montreal as the Flyers continue this 4-game road trip, headed back down south of the border after this one tonight. Got the Buffalo Sabres on Thursday evening in a game that will be a national telecast on ESPN+, so we'll have that for you, of course, right here on the Flyers Broadcast Network. And then on Saturday afternoon, the Flyers will wrap up this trip against the New York Rangers at Madison Square Garden, a 12:30 start. One more home game in 2025. It is Monday night, the 22nd, and a holiday spectacular. Flyers and the Vancouver Canucks at Xfinity Mobile Arena. And then one more really kind of a grueling up and back as the Flyers go to Chicago to take on the Blackhawks at a 9 p.m. Eastern start on the 23rd. That's the last game before the break. So tickets for that Vancouver game available at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. And then, of course, the holiday Disney on Ice road trip comes up after that. But the Flyers, Jason, for a team that played a lot of games at home this season, have seemed to find themselves more or less pretty comfortable on the road in many circumstances. And I thought they played a pretty good period there. It was unfortunate that Montreal got that one there in the final minute, which you hate to give up, but the best way to answer it is to score your own goal in the final minute, and that's exactly what the Flyers did. So all square here at the break.
Yeah, it's very rare that you're going to get 2 goals in the final minute of play, literally the final minute, as Montreal scored with 19 minutes into the period, so a minute left on the clock. And sometimes when that happens, you can just kind of go, okay, we're going to suffer our fate. We'll go into the locker room down a goal, but the Flyers answer. I got to get the numbers on this. But I don't know how many times the Flyers this season, in the shift or minute and a half of play after being scored on, have answered with a goal. They've done it a ton this year, and they do it again here with a beautiful play. And that speaks to kind of the whole identity of the team, whether that's not scoring first and coming back, or being down 2 goals and coming back and not giving up resilience. And the resilience kicks in right away. So that's a good trait to have, and it earns them the tie and all square after 1.
Was it last year or the year before that they kept giving up goals
2 years
right away after? Yeah, I mean, it was happening all the time to them. And this year it's the opposite, so a lot easier to stomach there. Also, very easy on the ice is Rasmus Ristolainen. He has not missed a beat. Wow.
A couple of thunderous hits, a couple of Ristolainen-esque plays, a +1. They didn't play a ton of minutes, 556, but that's third pairing minutes right now. They're going to monitor that through this game. And but no, his presence is felt. You know, it's not often. I remember talking to a player that used to play here in Philadelphia, and we were talking about him and how the analytics community kind of despised Risto before he got Brad Shaw'd. And the player told me the one thing that those analytics cannot account for is fear on the ice, and he provides it. And I can see why.
What do we say at the time he had 13 or 17 coaches during his time with Buffalo or something like that?
It was crazy.
So it was something to see him come here. And they've turned him into this type of player. We actually do have a check of the game here that we can bring you from that first period. Rasmus Ristolainen returning to the lineup.
Holmstrom will cut back in behind his own goal. Montreal's got 6 rookies in their lineup. They are the youngest team in the league. Big open ice hit again by Ristolainen. Wow. 2 of them in the first period of his first game. We got a penalty coming up on Montreal.
I wouldn't be too surprised if we see another hit like that on Demidov here before this game is over. Demidov came over, and I don't know if he just decided, hey, nobody else is going to say anything, so I'm going to say anything. But it was kind of like, you know, if one of you or me tried to go check a steamroller. I mean, he did knock Risto down, but, you know, Risto was almost laughing at the time.
Yeah.
And he ends up getting the team on the power play because of it. But it's certainly a nice aspect to have back in the lineup.
No doubt about it. And, you know, like I said, to have that, players got to be aware when they're out there, especially coming through the neutral zone, and if they try and enter the offensive zone inside the dots. The thing that got Risto in trouble so much, Smitty, was that he would play outside the dots too much, looking for those hits to angle a guy into the boards, and oftentimes take himself out of plays and get out of position and kind of break down the structure as another team was obtaining the offensive zone. But he's learned to do that and have that same ferocity inside the dots a lot for those open ice hits, and that's the ones that really catch players in a big way.
We'll get to the highlights now from that first period. They both come again in the final minute, and it's really the first high danger scoring chance I thought the Montreal Canadiens had the old whole period. If there were any more, only 1 or 2, but this is probably the best chance they had, and they convert it at officially the 19-minute mark. It becomes 1-0.
Got to get a little from their boy. Over the line, Josh Anderson gets it on Montreal in front. They score. It's Alexander Texier, the newest Canadian. He beats Dan Bledard from between the circles, and Texier's got his 3rd goal of the season. That's his 3rd in 4 games. Montreal is taking a 1-0 lead.
It's Texier from Evans and Anderson at officially the 19-minute mark came with 59.1 on the clock, and Fridge kind of mentioned it. This pass, I don't think was intended for Texier. He kind of picked it off from his own guy. William Carrier was behind him, but I think he ended up getting a better bid, and obviously he's able to convert.
Yeah, I think this pass is ticketed for a Newhook who's opened up and looking for a one-time shot with that right-hand shot as he's kind of drifting backwards to the left. But Texier grabs it and then is able to snap it home. So Newhook won't give him a ton of cut for that one, but I think that was intended for Newhook, not for Texier.
So that made it 1-0, and you're thinking, okay, well, that's a bummer. The Canadiens have some momentum going into the intermission here, but no, the Flyers are able to answer. And again, they had several opportunities, I think, in that period, especially on the power plays. They had at least one good chance on each power play. Just could not convert, but they pick it up here. And it's Carl Grundstrom hiding himself along the far wall and then sneaking in past the entire Montreal 5-man unit to receive this pass from Owen Tippett. Makes it 1-1.
That's Anaheim, and he'll head the other way. Right wing pass, Couturier for Tippett, base in the circle, and they score! What a play! Owen Tippett in front, and it was Carl Grundstrom with new line mates. It's the same results. He gets his third goal in a Flyer uniform, and the Flyers tie it with 21 seconds remaining in the first.
It goes down as Grundstrom from Tippett and Couturier at 19:39, and it's a really nifty play by Grundstrom because he's actually ahead of Tippett coming through the neutral zone. So he pulls up, but at the same time, he backs up toward the boards. And all 5 guys on the ice for Montreal are staring right at Owen Tippett coming down the right wing, while Grundstrom's hanging out on the left side. I don't know if they thought maybe he was going for a change and wasn't there or whatnot, but by the time they picked up on him, it was too late. And Tippett's able to find him in the back door.
Yeah, had he not done that, he would have been offsides.
Yeah.
He really cut a sharp angle to his left and went straight across the blue line towards the boards. And I can see why you would think he was going off on the change. As soon as the puck went in the zone, he just curled right back in and came in on a sharp angle from the wall to a prime scoring spot. I love the way that Flyers entered the zone, too. It's just speed. Couturier, and then a quick play back up to Tippett. And Tippett, real nicely, low to high pass to Grundstrom, who didn't get it really in his wheelhouse. He kind of got it a little bit into his feet, but he got a ton on this shot and is able to put it short side there and then pick up the goal. And if he was going for a change, Montreal must have been really confused, though, because it was their bench where he was at. Maybe he thought he got traded or something. But
You never know, I guess, right? But
yeah.
You know, in the case there, Grundstrom is, again, like you heard Timmy say, moving up the lineup a little bit, playing with some different line mates here as the Flyers try to figure out the best configuration to operate without Tyson Forrester, and it's, for him, nice to see that pay off in the early goings.
No doubt. And what has he done just besides earn it? Everything he's getting, he's earning. And he's a guy with NHL experience, and well, he's been really good since he's been up here. And I remember when the Flyers called him up in the release round, I was kind of like, we all thought maybe Bump would be that guy, right? But no, they call up Grundstrom. They want Bump to get a little more marinating down in the AHL. His game had dipped a little bit. So they call up a guy that they know has played in the NHL, knows what to expect, and Grundstrom's come up and acquitted himself very well. And another goal here, a big one, and a nice finish. Boy, you like calling up a guy and having him move up your lineup when he gets there, too.
And now with Ristolainen back, the Flyers have probably, arguably, their top 60 in the organization right now in this game. Whether you're going to interchange anybody remains to be seen. But with that, and Ristolainen, yes, we said his minutes are going to be managed tonight. Drysdale and Sanheim play 8 minutes apiece there in that first period, but they're able to spread it out fairly well now that they've got everybody back.
Yeah, that's a big thing. And with this schedule, like we've talked about managing, the minutes and the usage for these guys with this crazy schedule that's going to be in place the rest of the way. And you couple that, Smitty, with a lot of travel now, too. And some pretty significant travel, like you mentioned, that up and back with Chicago after the Vancouver game.
That's going to suck.
Yeah, then you got the Alberta Clipper, Vancouver, Seattle, Edmonton, Calgary. You'll have your your trip out to California later. You still got to visit some Midwest teams. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of travel, and to be able to have that is a big element for this team when you can spread those minutes around. It's why the fourth line is also really important as well, that you get some production out of it.
Well, we'll look for the Flyers to keep it going here in the second as we are out of time on this edition of the Flyers Intermission Report. When we come back in just a moment, Tim Saunders and Tom Dorn will have that second period for you here at Bell Center in Montreal. It's 1-1. Flyers and Canadians tied after one. Back after this on the Philadelphia Flyers Broadcast Network.
97.3 ESPN, your home of Flyers hockey. Work.
Automotive Avenues, your family-owned, pre-owned dealership is growing and now has a second location in Sewell. Automotive Avenues brings the power of wholesale to the public. They make financing easy. Good credit, bad credit, no credit. You are still approved. Find out why Automotive Avenues has won customer satisfaction awards for the last 8 years. Discover why everybody loves Automotive Avenues of Sewell on Delsey Drive, or check out their expanded inventory now. AutomotiveAvenuesNJ.com. And don't forget, go Birds!
Right now at the Home Depot, shop appliance savings and get up to 40% off select appliances like Samsung. Upgrade your kitchen with the Samsung Bespoke 4-door refrigerator. Now featuring the dual auto ice maker with Sphere Ice, only at the Home Depot. You'll have perfectly chilled drinks for every gathering. Shop appliance savings now at the Home Depot. Offer valid December 11th through January 1st. U.S. only. See store online for details.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and you can get up to a $5 cashback bonus on your first tank.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code STATE5 to get up to a $5 cashback bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code STATE5 to get up to a $5 cashback bonus on your first tank. That's code STATE5 for up to a $5 cashback bonus.
Hey, this is Josh Hennig inviting you to join me this Saturday at yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora for Hanging with Hennig, 12 to 3 p.m. on 97.3 ESPN. Come on out for our Eagles versus Commanders pregame show and watch party, where we'll be giving away a Kelly Green Jillian Carter jersey, along with other prizes at halftime of the Eagles game. Joining me at yesterday's Creekside Tavern are Haley Taylor-Simon and Mike Carlin. This Saturday's guests include AP Senior NFL Insider Rob Motti, presented by Work of Art Construction. Make your home look brand new with our Masters 40 years construction experience. And fantasy football analyst Andy McNamara, brought to you by Tropicana Atlantic City and the Gridiron Pit, the ultimate watch and wager experience. Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN is sponsored by Prevail Nutrition, South Jersey's best meal prep service, delivering to Atlantic and Cumberland counties plus Ocean City. Caesars Sportsbook, the only sportsbook app offering you Caesars rewards. Join us for our Eagles versus Commanders pregame show and watch party at yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora. That's Hanging with Hennig, 12 to 3 p.m. on 97.3 ESPN.
South Jersey's official play-by-play home of Eagles, Sixers, and Flyers.
Let's go!
97.3 ESPN, WBNJ, WBNJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City.
From starting dictating play a little bit.
Yeah, pretty evenly matched teams. I'd like to say there's probably a little bit more grit in the Flyers game, a little bit more skill in the Montreal Canadiens game. More of a free-flow style of offense the Canadians bring.
Couturier centering, Brunstrom and Tippett. Montreal wins the faceoff though. Second period underway as they drive it in deep. York behind the net, gets it over to Tippett. Tippett backhands it across his own zone. Miss Sanheim with that, but Brunstrom comes over and plays it off of Josh Anderson. It's turned back into the Philadelphia zone. York goes behind the goal. York lifts it back in, out in center ice, the bouncing puck. Struble gets it to Texier into the middle. Evans kicked into the Philadelphia zone. York bumped on the inboards by Josh Anderson. Tippett comes and helps out. And Tippett sidesteps one man and skates the center up the right lane. Into the middle, and he missed Sanheim with that. Couturier's got it, though, onside. To Sanheim in below the goal line. Gives it to Tippett. Backs it to the right. Turner with a shot. Misses the net. Couturier, red cap, was ready for it on the near boards. Hits it in behind the goal. Brunstrom unable to pull it off the end wall. Carl Brunstrom, boy, is he making the most of his opportunity with a new team.
Yeah, I agree with that. Brunstrom's had a strong game in all the games that he's come up and played. Remember, he's got 300 games in the NHL. He sees an opportunity here, and you know what? He's making the most of it. I like his style. It's one of those aggressive, get in the forecheck, and I'll go get that puck. And right now, that's what the Flyers are looking for. You look at the way that just the line combinations are. He's fitting well with Tippett and Couturier. And that's his job on that line. Go get that puck and be defensively overlooked, be responsible. I think you see that same kind of combination with Frank Cates and Leachkoff.
Lundstrom played 6 years with the LA Kings. This is game number 298 of his career. So, yep, closing in on 300. Tipped away for Trevor Zegras. Angled to the boards on the far side at center was Struble. Konecny had him tied up. Zegras puts it to center ice, and Andre fired it in deep. Bouncing puck in the end wall, DeBoer to the corner. Konecny got it in front. Zegras hands it off to Andre, threw it on goal to put it in right into the crease and closing the pants as Konecny tried to squeeze it 5-hole. Jacob Popper gets it covered.
Konecny jumped on the corner. He got right in front of Fowler at the same time that the puck got there. I think this one surprised Konecny too. It's actually trying to pick this pass up. I don't think Emil was trying to pass this. This one goes off of the defender in front of Emil, but Konecny gets 2 shots off here coming through the crease, and this one ends up underneath the goaltender.
I don't want to say Fowler was lucky, but
yeah, I was lucky on this one. He did not know where that puck was. But again, he is playing good tonight too, and you got to be lucky to be good, Kevin.
Hudson leaves it in deep. Cedar behind the net. Bristol lining up that far wall. Hudson tried to jump on that puck, but unable to control that. Carrier up the near side now. Bolduc will send it to the Philadelphia zone right to Rasmus Ristolainen. What a first period he had after missing over 60-some games. 31 this year. Now into the far corner. Lane Hudson tied up. Almost trying to drive that puck free. In the corner of the Montreal zone. Wrapped up the boards by Carrier, and now Montreal jumps out the center ice. Suzuki into the middle, flipped it in deep, wide of the Philadelphia net, chopped away from Caulfield, and Bobby breakout led. So Boyd to hit, because taking a run at him was Sam Bolduc. Flyers unable to complete the pass, though, and Montreal takes over from deep in their own zone.
They get down in the corner between the big boys, Delory and Jack-Eye.
Davidoff net sidestep. Andre, the bouncy puck, Davidoff's got it back in front. The puck is off the side of the net. And then Vladar's got to make a save on Slavkovsky. Puck is over the glass and ends up on a play. But Montreal comes close.
Yeah, a few opportunities. Some work down low by the Montreal forwards. They get an opportunity to slot. And the slot shot isn't necessarily the one that I was concerned about. It's the rebound that comes up after that. Vladar's jumping back into position, and just by jumping back into position, he makes the secondary save.
Davidoff scored his 7th goal of the year the other night against Edmonton. He's shooting way more. Yeah, encouraged him to shoot more, and he's got a hell of a shot.
He's got a great shot. He's a slippery player, a lot like Trevor Zegras is, in the sense that in certain areas in play, he can find the open ice and get a shot off.
Guys want to face up on their own, and Davidoff knocked it free of Cam York. It's in behind the goal. They kind of scramble for it. Davidoff gets it out left point. Jack-Eye goes point to point. One-timer club by Vladar. Off the stick of Engstrom, and he'll hold on.
Well, they Montreal, when they have their setup, the middle of the ice is wide open. Both D are so stretched out far, and that's by design. They want to use that perimeter style of offense to set up something in the middle.
He said the Habs had 6 rookies in their lineup. They're also without 5 absolute regulars. Patrick Laine, Alex Newhook, Herdy Dock, Aiden Gooley, and maybe their best defenseman, Mike Matheson, is out of the lineup tonight with an upper body injury.
Oh, hey. That's rough.
Habs come out of their own zone, chipped up the right side, wrapped in by Brendan Gallagher. Boleto pokes it free. Owen Beck was tied up in the corner. Now Beck intercepts and hit his stick. That's going to be a penalty by Couturier.
Wow.
And Couturier's going to argue it. He held the stick. There wasn't much question about that.
Yeah, the stick was brought up underneath the arm of Couturier. And as he goes forward to handle the puck, it locks underneath his armpit. Harris got no choice but to make the call here. Couturier can argue as much as he wants. It's unfortunate. That's right, exactly what happens here. He goes to play that puck, and his body's just in that position.
Couturier says, what am I supposed to do? Put his stick there. Well, it is a penalty on the Flyer captain. shot. And Vladar got just enough of that. We told you Davidoff is shooting more, and there's a good example of it.
He's got a quick release, and he's in a dangerous area, too. He's also shooting on net for that shot pass as well.
This first unit is very good with Suzuki and Caulfield.
They're quick. They can move the puck quick. They got tape-to-tape passing. That's just the next level. That's why they're number 4 in the power play.
Coming up on the near wall, had to jump over his stick. Montreal's going to keep it in momentarily. Now the Flyers will clear all the way down. So Slavkovsky has 6 power play goals to lead the way. Suzuki is next with 5. Now they drop it to Suzuki. Hitting up the left wing. Off the stick of Slavkovsky. He's looking for it. Ristolainen got turned around. At the side of the net. Circle. Slavkovsky gets into the half wall. Caulfield looking on goal. Plays it back to the middle point. Caulfield base of the left circle. Again to Suzuki. They play catch. Suzuki back to Lane Hudson. They're working the one side, trying to get a free chance on this side, but it's batted down and cleared by the Flyers.
Yeah. This is the first real view of the penalty kill for Ristolainen. As well, breaks up that play using that big body and that big reach that he's got.
He said it was going to be kind of thrown to the fire, and see how he does.
He's in it.
Up the left wing now. Oliver Kapanen was checked. Sam Bolduc will lift it out to the line, tipped at the point. Over to Gallagher, top right circle. He'll give it up. Texie back to the line. Stops into the left circle of the one-timer, and Kapanen actually tried to take the wrister. It was blocked by Sanheim, and Philadelphia clears. That goes into the bench and out of play.
Nice little play by Sanheim to get that up to halfway on the half wall. Halfway just sends this one into the bench. This draw still stays in the Flyers' defensive zone.
So it'll be Dvorak and Cates coming out on the PK. We'll try to Sanheim. York is over at the bench getting a stick.
Buying some time.
Yeah, referee's over there like, come on, let's not drag this out too long.
Yorkie's come back and didn't look like he
that meeting just got hot.
That much time, really, but again, a solid defenseman to have back in the lineup. And then Risto, you can easily say that the core is complete.
Off a draw. Here's Dobson with a shot that deflected up over the net. The penalty is over. Couturier's out of the box. And Dvorak spins it out the center. Kind of a hope and a prayer, but Montreal was there to play it away. Texier lifts it back in. And the Flyers Sanheim sends it to the corner. York up the near boards. Jam free. Montreal's got it. Jake Evans in the corner looking in front. Deflected just wide of the net. In the air. It's gloved down. He was trying to get that to Texier, who would have been bidding for his second of the game. It's over the glass and out.
Well, opportunistic Montreal Canadiens. A play off the half wall. The Flyers have been struggling in the last couple of games, getting that puck out of their zone on the half wall. A lot of their game is dependent on that wall work, in not only their own zone, but in the Flyers' offensive zone as well. What they do coming off that wall in the offensive zone turns into offense, but what they do coming off that wall in the defensive zone turns out into a great breakout. Now, speed pressure negates that.
Dvorak on the draw. Montreal wins it.
Why is
They
he
get
turning
it
off?
near side. Davidoff curls into the high slot, gives it up on the right wing. Slavkovsky skates to the middle, looking at the net, took the shot. Oh, he snapped it just wide of the net. Davidoff's got it, jumps into the circle. To the corner, he'll play it low. Slavkovsky's got Davidoff in behind the net. Boy, the chemistry between those two is unmistakable. Flyers wrap it out. Now a 2-on-1 Philadelphia the other way. He's got Zegras going to the net. Zegras shoots. He scores!
Yes,
Trevor Zegras buries his 14th of the year. He's got 4 goals in the last 4 games, and Philadelphia takes the 2-1 lead.
The box +1 defensively turns into a 2-on-1, and it's well-timed and well-placed pass by Travis Konecny. A great rush. Both him and Zegras know they got the 2-on-1 against Lane Hudson. Konecny elects to make the pass early, which I really like. Lane Hudson knows how to play a 2-on-1. Gets this over to Zegras, and it's a 1-on-1 against the goaltender. And Zegras is pretty hot in that situation. He beats the goaltender with a nice goal against Jacob Fowler.
First 4-game goal-scoring streak in a Flyer uniform for Trevor Zegras. 14 on the year from Konecny at 6:26 of this second period. Philadelphia's got its first lead in the game. Ristolainen had his own. Lifts it up the far side. Arbor Jacki quickly the other way, but right to center. Flyers on the attack again. Here's Cates trying to work up the boards. Turned away from Jacki. Jammed on the end boards. Bolduc plays it away. And now the Canadians come out. On the left wing, it's Suzuki. And Caulfield. They dump it in deep. Bolduc unable to knock that down with the glove, but it hit the referee. That benefits Montreal, but the Flyers get it across, and Matvei Michkov settles. Into the middle of center ice. Here's Bobby Brink hitting the Montreal line, but bumped off that puck. It goes on goal, and Fowler's going to cover it right there with 12:50 to go in the period. We get a timeout on the ice. Flyers have taken the lead on Zegras' 14.
Yay. Hi, Nico. Frick. Oh my god. Oh, that works. Yay. Where are they really?
They go rank wide, and it's just bumped in deep behind Vladar's cage. Philadelphia is there. We're approaching the halfway point of the second period. Owen Tippett hits the line. Gave it to Couturier. Looking at the net. Took the shot. A save. A rebound. Batted free. It's loose as Sanheim comes in late. He'll play it out of the corner to the line. Grunstrom covering there. Hits it up to Couturier. Back on left point. Cam York to Sanheim. At the line. He'll bounce it off the wall and in deep. Grunstrom can't pull it off the end boards. And Montreal's Davidoff gets it to the corner. Suzuki. He'll turn it right back to him. Flyers had pressure, but unable to score. They came close. 2-1 Philadelphia with the lead. Grunstrom and Zegras for the Flyers. Robert Jackeye on the left wing. It's deflected right to Suzuki. Trying to go rank wide. That was behind Caulfield in the Flyers zone. Well, Cates will get to it in the zone end, and Cates will push it out to center before he was checked. Wrapped off the wall. Cates again lifts it back into the Montreal end of the Habs. Lane Hudson goes in behind his own goal for it. To the near side. Overskating, that was Caulfield, and Cates will cycle it in deep. That hit a seam in the corner and bounced right back into the circle. Bobby Brink couldn't take advantage. Habs regained control. Caulfield right wide pass. Hudson on the left wing. Checked and lost it to Drysdale. Good defensive play, and then Drysdale had his clearing attempt knocked down by Lane Hudson. Hudson turns it in behind the goal line.
Good work by Lane Hudson along the half wall.
Dobson pokes it free. Suzuki's looking in front. Played it back to the line. Lane Hudson avoids a man. Into the middle. Texier gets it back to one-timer, and he lifts it up over the net. Well, he has been the most dangerous Hab offensively. Now it's Texier's got their only goal. He's got it again behind the net. Wrap back to him. Cates trying to get to him. It's cleared to the line, and it came out of the zone. Dobson's got a retreat. Dobson and Hudson defensively for Montreal. Flyers changing. Here the Habs right back in, and Texier checked. By Andre, bounced off of that, got it in behind the net. Anderson couldn't play it off the back of the goal, and it's cleared again to center. Dobson, that's twice he couldn't keep it in at the blue line, and he's hearing it from the crowd.
Yeah, puck's bouncing on him as it's coming up to the point.
Texier holds off though at Cates. Drags it back into the Philadelphia zone before the Flyers lift it the other way. Habs go back for that. 8:15 to go in the second period. 2-1 Flyers. Konecny on the forecheck. Creates a turnover but couldn't find Dvorak in front. Montreal cleans that up. Big hit on Texier. Jake Evans can't find it at the line. And Christian Dvorak will scramble back into his own zone. There's Dvorak. Finding some skating room up the left wing. They hit the line together with Zegras. Zegras top of the left circle, cut into the middle. Trying to make a pass. He was upended. No penalty. Crowd loved it. And here come the hands the other way. Beck's got a man going to the net. Backhand on goal. And Gallagher was stopped by Dan Vladar.
One hit at one end on Trevor Zegras. You got to love him going in the middle of the ice like that. Takes that hit and he comes down 2-on-1 the other way. And Vladar with a big save there, Tim. Wow.
Konecny unable to get it back to Zegras. They're late in the shift. They'll go to change as Montreal tries to come out. Halfway almost picked that off at the line. Joe Veleno swings wide. Took a shot. Vladar makes the save with the glove. Reaches out and grabs it. With 7:10 to go in this second period, we get a timeout on the ice. 2-1 Flyers on the Philadelphia.
Yay.
Unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, chef.
Frick. Can I please not get that, please?
To get back. York headbanding up the right wing that went off the stick of Konechny. Back out with Zegras and Dvorak. Montreal from their own line. Carrier up the left wing. Josh Anderson goes wide. Sanheim pushes him behind the net and upended back there. And then picked off by Konechny. Zegras in the middle. He's got Konechny up the right wing. It's TK and TZ. Getting after it. Konechny finishes a check. The bouncing puck. Dvorak unable to knock that down. Jake Evans the other way. Cut in at the Flyer line and looked offside. They said no. And played away by Philadelphia. Zegras back to the Montreal line. Stepped in. Leaves it for Konechny. Zegras in the corner. Stuffs it in behind the net. But Dobson will bounce away from Dvorak. Gets to it. And headman's at center ice. Jake Evans late in the shift. Trying to go wide and risk the line. It took a hit. You knew that was coming. Round it goes into the right wing corner. Davidoff with two Flyers on him. Gets into Slavkovsky. Back to the blue line. Slavkovsky drags it out at the point to the near circle, and he missed Ekstrom with a pass. Cedar gets help, jammed free to Couturier, and he'll quickly lift it out. Here's Owen Tippett at center ice. Hits the line with Grundstrom. Rink White pass. Carl Grundstrom got Couturier going in front. Took the shot to see by Fowler. Couturier cycled back in behind the net. Tippett into the far wall. In that far corner, gets it to Grundstrom. He's able to turn off a man, and then almost got free in front. Tippett was going to the bench to change. Hathaway unable to find that puck, and Montreal plays it away. Slavkovsky back into Arbor Jacka. 3.5 minutes to play in this second period. Flyers the only goal of the period, and lead it 2-1. Bobby Frank had to jump over his stick, but at the line, Hudson couldn't hold the zone. So he's got to hurry back into the Montreal end of the ice. Lane Hudson, headmanning up that left wing. Into the zone, Joe Veleno. His shot was blocked. Bouncing puck in front, and Carrier misses the net with a shot. Brink hoists that into the air, and it bounces off the glove of Carrier. Nick Delorier tried to get it in deep, couldn't do that. Carrier jammed it into the middle. Backside steps a man, and Montreal's onside of the Philadelphia line. Lay into the corner. Veleno on the end boards. Backhanded knocked away from him. Veleno gets it to the blue line. And then Hudson put it right onto a Flyers stick. Here's Sanheim headed the other way. Gets the red line, dumps it in deep. Philadelphia will change. Habs back into their own end for it. It's Owen back. Deflected out at center ice. Veleno leaves it for Gallagher. He's got 4 goals in his last 5 games against Philadelphia. He blew a tire, though, in the Flyers' end. Michkov sidesteps one man, gets away from Suzuki, in over the line. Andre back into the right circle, and a Hathaway shot is swallowed up there by Vladar, or by Fowler, rather, and he'll hold on. Hathaway gets sticks up high with a man. We'll see if we see penalties here. I don't think so.
A good shot by Hathaway. Obviously, enters wide, but Michkov again doing some work. when he starts to do those things with that puck and gains a little bit of confidence, that's when you see Michkov start to shine. And right now, the Flyers really need players to step up. You got one of those games, it's a 2-1 game. This is where the skill guys can separate themselves. It just seems that the sense in the air is that Michkov is just on one of those cusps of breaking out.
Fridge, over half their games this year have been one-goal games, so you get used to playing in those high-pressure situations, I guess. Flyers are 7-4-6 in one-goal games this year. Oh, a shot off a draw. Konechny had it kicked away by Fowler as Zegras won that faceoff. Montreal lifts it back into the Philadelphia zone. Emil Andre settles it. Good bounce back game so far for Emil Andre after the last couple.
Yeah, he's just one of those players, I think, doesn't really let the mistakes or errors that you call errors in a game bother him.
Montreal back into the Philadelphia zone, a centering pass and lifting it up over the goal is Suzuki. That ends up in the netting. And on a play with a minute 47 left in the period. Well, Montreal scored first at the 19-minute mark of the first period after a real good pace first period. Texier scored his third from Evans and Anderson. Grundstrom got it back 39 seconds later. We were tied at 1-1. And Zegras has the only goal of the second period. Although that last chance by Suzuki, Fridge had off the crossbar.
That did go off right in the corner of that post and crossbar area. There's a little more post there, but thankfully for the Flyers and Vladar.
Couturier wins a face-off in his own end. Ristolainen to the line, batted away from Lane Hudson. Grundstrom tried to find Tippett with that. That's picked off. Right back in comes Jake Evans. Backhand sitting behind the goal. Anderson's got a man in front, unable to get it to Texier. Oh, what a pickup Texier's been. Here's Grundstrom the other way. The Flyer newcomer into the middle, gives it a Tippett. He'll curl back to the line. As Flyers set up in the Montreal zone, Ristolainen's shot was blocked right in front. Kicked away by Lane Hudson. And Evans will lift the backhand into the zone. That bounces for Josh Anderson to the left wing corner. He's got Texier in support.
Well, good recovery by Ristolainen, too. He was beat by the foot speed on entry there, but used his big body and a defensive little posture.
Real strong first game back for Ristolainen. Tippett will drive it in deep. Less than a minute to go in the second period. A turnover back in front. The Flyers score. Bobby Brink puts it into the empty net after Fowler gave it up behind his own goal. And Philadelphia, talk about a gift. Bobby Brink just got one. It's 3-1.
Right in the change, Bobby Brink is all smiles. He gets on the ice here. Michkov, slippery as he is, nobody knows he's back there. Fowler kind of gives a puck up behind him. This is a little bit of a mistake, but it's Michkov who picks this one up and absolutely finds a wide open Bobby Brink for a one-timer. He has to put this one upstairs to beat Fowler, but Michkov came out of nowhere and surprised Fowler, picked that puck up.
That's the third goal in this game in the final minute of play in a period. Bobby Brink gets credit for his 9th of the year after Michkov took advantage of Fowler's miscue.
How about that, huh?
Flyers have 2-goal lead in the closing minute of the second period. I think it'll be only Michkov will draw an assist after Texier had control behind his own net and just didn't sense Michkov right there.
But that's Michkov's game. That is Michkov's game when he is not seen out there and he can kind of evade and sneak up on you. He needs that. He doesn't have the foot speed, so he's got to use his evasive speed and his evasive intuition to find the open ice. This one, he's just sneaking around 2 coverage. There's 2 Montreal defenders there with him. So Fowler's going back. He's back to his play. Michkov just comes quietly around the outside. He's the first Flyer there.
Christmas comes early for Bobby Brink. 3-1 Flyers. Dvorak won a face-off at the Montreal zone. Cam York to the middle point. Sanheim looking through it toward the net. Off the stick of Dvorak. It's jammed free in the crease. Flyers can't find it. The Canadiens do. And Slafkovsky will lift it into the air. Banded out to center ice. Konechny's got it again. 13 seconds left in the period. Pops it into the corner, deep to Montreal, and Carrier back there can't clear. Dvorak knocked it down. Zegras can't settle the bouncing puck. That'll do it. The Habs take over with 2 seconds left in the period. The horn sounds, and the second period comes to an end. So the Flyers get the only 2 goals of the period. They've scored the last 3 in the game. Zegras made it 2-1 at the 6:26 mark, his 14th goal of the season. Bobby Brink, set up by Matvei Michkov in the final minute to give the Flyers the 3-1 advantage.
Yeah, they got to have the same thing going into the third period. The Flyers.
Yay. There you go. What was about Barbara? Barbara. There you go. That's why you shouldn't be sitting by the door, you goof. There we go. Okay, Nico. Nico. All right. Yeah, man, Christmas ain't that far. Yup. Young Low. There you go. Yeah, yeah. Yes. That's nonsense. Ah! No. Excuse me? Excuse me? Who? Oh my god. There we go. No. Really? Goes nonsense. Ugh. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Hey, look, we're winning against the Canadians again. Cool. Hey, look. Oh. Goes nonsense. No. Yay. Yay. Error. Please. No. Yay. Goes nonsense. Yay. Give her the go. Leo, I need you to move. Come on. My move. Move. My move. Really? Ow. Oh, really? No. Really, bro? Oh, okay then. No. Yeah. Beep, 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 beep. Yay! Oh, no. Good? Yes, I did. No. No, I missed. Wait, I gotta check my volume of my, check the volume of my microphone. Come on. Let me go check, please. Come on. Come on. I'm trying to. Bro. Thank you. Jesus Christ. Thank you. No, wait. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Jesus Christ. That's why I hate the keyboard. Well, I mean, where you're full screen. Wherever you're in full screen now. You're going in. Flyers are winning. Flyers are winning. Good sign. I wonder when he's gonna do the power rankings and the scripted whatever the fuck he's doing. Tom Grossi. Well, I hope he'll be climbed up. I hope. Well, because after that win against the Raiders, I mean, they just kind of fair. Listen, I was upset that we got knocked off the top 5 to 10. I mean, it's actually not our fault that we're losing those games. It's that we had a very tough schedule. You know, like just like 2023. Yeah, but I think this one was worse. What the hell? Okay. You know what's funny? That tomorrow's JJ's birthday, and they're freaking doing the car weekly test. Kind of funny. Well, I gotta wish him a happy birthday tomorrow. I might do it through text, or no, I might do it on or no. Should I do a text or FaceTime? I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Yeah. Oh crap! I got farted. Oh, excuse me. Big one farted. No. I thought today was weird. I thought today was weird at work because they thought, the people at customer service desk, like, they thought I wasn't there. like, are you, like, y'all did not see me come here? Like, did y'all seriously, not see me come? Like, come on. Now, if I wasn't working today, that would have been strange. I would never have 4 days off in a row. Like, I would never have 4 days in a row off. I would never. Unless if I do request a day off, then, give me off, freaking after that. But that's different. Like freaking Donna thought I wasn't here. Well, yeah, it was just Donna. Like, she thought that I wasn't there. If I wasn't there, that I wouldn't be freaking pushing carts. Because that's the thing. The only person that would have been there was Bradley. Well, he didn't do anything at all. He didn't even come outside, or well, he did, but he was doing the trash. All he did outside was just, do the trash. While I was outside punching a lot of freaking carts. And with boots on. And that's the thing. I was wearing my Timbs. Now, normally I would move slow. Because if I'm wearing Timbs, I can't move very quickly. And like I said, it's not because of my weight. It's because the boots, they're heavy. Those Timbs are heavy, kind of. And they make you walk very slow. Or move slow. No. Yay. Nah, I feel jealous and I'm not going to get the Grinch meal from McDonald's. Nah, I feel jealous again. It's the second time now I wanted something and they don't have it. Because, the McDonald's that we have is getting rebuilt. Or, as of right now, they're not even freaking demolishing it yet. They're not even, not yet. I mean, I think they might take it down by, at least by January. And then they're going to start freaking, rebuilding it. No, I think they're going to start, March, I think. I'm what's the point of making, a double lane? What's the point of making, a double lane? What's the point of that? What's it going to be, freaking, Wildwood? Or some sort? I don't freaking know. Yeah, well, now the nearest McDonald's is either in Rio Grande or freaking Seaville. Which, of course, we haven't been in that one in a long time, I don't think. I mean, yeah, it's been a long time. It's actually been a long time since we've not been there. That McDonald's, the one in Seaville. Well, I mean, it's near... I believe it's in... Yeah. I think that is part of Upper Township, I think. If I'm wrong. I don't freaking know. Excuse me. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, I mean, you know what? Speaking of McDonald's, I actually missed going to one in Seaville. That one was fun. Yeah, but with the old McDonald's, when they used to have, when they used to have, those slides and whatnot. Now it's just boring. Almost like every McDonald's has that now. Jesus, like, taking our childhood memories away. Like, that's rough. That's rough. Like very rough, if you ask me. Because this whole entire generation right now, it sucks. I mean, but there's no other we can't. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. There's just nothing, But yeah. I mean, if time traveling existed, I want to go back to my childhood days. Me being as a child. Watch my favorite shows. Watching my favorite shows. Well, mine's My Little Pony because I was not like into My Little Pony when I was a kid. I wasn't. And no, because I didn't hate it because it was for girls. My Little Pony was for girls because I'm a boy. Well, now a grown man. Now I'm a grown man. But yeah. Because when I was a kid, I loved a lot of shows back in the day. I loved a lot of shows. But you know what? I remember that one time that I actually named one of my childhood shows that I used to watch as a kid. I don't remember when though, but I think it was in 2021 or 2022 when I named. But I don't want to name them again because I don't want to frickin' be we're not traumatized, but I'm just not feeling like into it. There were a lot of shows I used to like when I was a kid. However, I don't know which one was, but I can't speak. I don't even know which one was my favorite. I don't, because I watched a lot of them. Including freaking like Nickelodeon, freaking Nick Jr. I mean, listen. They're not necessarily the same channels though. Nickelodeon, freaking Nick Jr. Like they're not really the same channels, but they are part of Nick. So like Nickelodeon, freaking Nick Jr. and even Teen Nick, like. And there was another channel too. Nicktoons, I think. Yeah. Nicktoons. They used to have that channel. I believe they still have it. I hope. I remember like all those channels. Those Nick channels. Like the regular Nickelodeon. The regular Nickelodeon was kind of lit. Same with Nick Jr. Well, I mean, technically it was kind of Noggin as well, so that's different. Because it was technically Noggin. Then it changed to Nick Jr. I think they changed it in like the late 2000s, like late 2000s and like early 2010s. When they changed it, Noggin. Noggin. And no, that channel's not there, by the way. Well, I think they have a website of it though. Which when I heard that it was gone. Just being gone this year then. It's kind of rough. Yeah, well, Noggin has been on for a long time anyway. Noggin has been on for like a long while. Well, now that's Nick Jr. It's not Nick Jr. Nah, bro, you know what I used to remember? I used to remember them like having, I remember them used to having, whenever they, whenever it's like nighttime, like they actually used to do, because it was actually switched from Nick Jr. to like Nick Mom or something. I don't know why they did that, but that's kind of lame. Or I mean, like it wasn't lame, but it was kind of fun, I guess. Changed to Nick Mom. I mean, well, But yeah, like either way, I just feel like seeing Nick Jr. Switch like Nick Mom at nighttime was just kind of weird. I guess that makes sense because I guess it makes sense because well, it's such a shame they got rid of it though. Well, they didn't get rid of it, but they freaking like removed it. That sucks. That sucks because I think they removed it. I think they removed that in like the mid 2010s, like the mid late 2010s. That's rough. Not like I mean, like I said, like this childhood thing is just being weird. I guess nowadays. Yeah, well now you got the Gen Z stuff. Now you got the Gen Z stuff. Yeah, but I was Gen Alpha, I think, because if I was born in 2004, then yes. If I was born in 2004, then yes. Oh, I just did everything in my childhood back in the day. Nah, bro, I used to like watching my favorite shows. Of course, before going to school, whatnot. Of course, eating my favorite food. I can't remember what was my favorite food when I was a child. I can't remember for sure though. If I would know right now, that'd be kind of tough, to know because I don't know what my favorite food was when I was a child. I guess chicken nuggets. I don't freaking know because listen, I have a very bad memory. Like I have a very bad memory. Like I sometimes have good memories, sometimes I have bad ones. Like it's just like a mix-up, like of my mind, I guess. But like the thing is, I'm just missing everything. Well, I remember like not using having a phone, never having a phone. I felt kind of jealous when I didn't have a phone. However, I did have something at the very least, and that's on the very least. I did have something at the very least, like a DS or something. You know what? I gotta say, like my first ever gaming thing, I would say like my very first gaming console. Like, I think like it's. Like I think my very first gaming console was Game Boy Advance. Or no, yeah, I think it was on the Game Boy Advance or the freaking or the regular DS. I don't remember, but I believe it was the Game Boy Advance when I first had like a gaming console. Like it wasn't a console, but you know what I'm saying. Like gaming. Nah, bro, I used to have the Game Boy Advance, but that was fun. I used to play good games on there. Oh my god, I used to play good games on the freaking Game Boy Advance. I think my favorite was like I don't know. Yay. But yeah, I miss playing the Game Boy Advance. I used to play the Game Boy Advance, but man, like those were the days, bro. Those were the good old days. I used to play with the freaking Game Boy Advance, bro. It was fun. Now, like, it used to be so lit, bro. You just play games with Game Boy Advance. Because you know what? I would have to say, like, I barely played a few games on the Game Boy Advance, but like overall, listen, Game Boy Advance is not like a bad like handheld like, gaming thing, but listen, the Game Boy Advance, like, I don't care what other people say about the other freaking like Game Boy stuff. Because the original Game Boy from the freaking like 80s or like the 90s. Doesn't compare to that. Because you know what? I think when I played on the Game Boy Advance was I played like at least a few games on there though. Because you know what? The first game that comes into my mind right now was that Land Before Time game. That was the first game that comes up to my mind right now. Is that? Because yes, that is on the Game Boy Advance. Which I believe it was released in like 2002, I think. But listen, that was my favorite game, bro. And you know what? Even when you die, like it shows game over screen, like it's so good because it goes like da, da. You know what? That's actually, you know what? It may be like, listen, I just love the game over screen. You know, whenever you die like in the game, because well, it shows like a like green background, like you know, with the game over screen, and then with that catchy, you know that jingle. I mean, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun though. And then there was another game that I liked, because before I liked Tetris, I actually liked Mario. Before I liked Tetris, which is why, which was the Tetris fan, came from. Because I am a Tetris fan because I play Tetris now. But listen, another game that I used to play on the Game Boy Advance was Super Mario. No, God, this is like a long game name. Super Mario World, Super Mario. No, yeah, it's called Super Mario World, Super Mario Advance 2. Well, you know what? To put it this way, let's say, let's say, Super Mario Advance 2. Let's just say that. Because listen, that was one of my personal favorite games. Because yes, because I think you only have like 2 games on it. You have the the original Mario Brothers, then you have the freaking Super Mario World. But of course, as you may know, Super Mario World was on the SNES. And then you have the Game Boy Advance version. But I'm gonna be completely honest now. What is better, the SNES version or the Game Boy Advance version? I gotta go with the Game Boy Advance version because I'm listen. I'm gonna be real honest here. Like, I like the Game Boy Advance version better because it has the thing is that yes, it has the same music, but just slightly different. Like it's slightly different. And then whenever you die, because then whenever you die, when you play as like Mario or Luigi, it's different, compared to the SNES version. Because whenever you die and whatever. And then there was another game that I played on there too, Sonic Advance. Sonic Advance. I think I played the first or the second one. I think it was just the first. I can't remember. I can't remember. I think it was the first one. I think we didn't have the second or the third. I think it was just the first. Honestly, the first Sonic Advance game was not bad, actually, though. I mean, listen, Sonic Advance is not really a bad game to play at all, but, I mean, the thing is that the graphics is... I mean, the graphics is... I mean, and listen, no, I don't hate Sonic. I actually like Sonic, though, too, but I don't play it very often. I don't play Sonic very often. And like I said, no, I don't hate Sonic. It's that I don't play it very often anymore because I'm a grown man now. It's not the same, when we play Sonic. Being honest, though. And of course, and then there was another game on the Game Boy Advance that I remember my brothers used to play. Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z: Legacy of Goku. And then there's freaking and then there goes freaking the Bruise. The Bruise. And then there goes the theme, the freaking and then there goes the theme, the freaking Boo's Fury. It's so catchy though. It is. And then you have the Legacy of Goku too. There goes the theme of it. You know what? I gotta say, my brothers used to play those games on Game Boy Advance, but listen, it was fun though. I don't think I haven't played them. Actually, I have, but just not often. Because I wasn't in, because I wasn't into Dragon Ball Z that much anyway. Because I'm not like into anime. Well, now I might though, because I'm actually now really interested in the freaking like Precure show. Called Hiru God of Sky. I don't know how I said that right. Wait on the shit, Flyers are playing. Food. I missed like half the third period, I guess. That's fine. As long as they're leading now.
And that could be it for the Japan
Eagles radio network coverage begins.
Wait, what? Wait. Did I hear the highlights of the NFC Championship game from last season? Or, no, it's past season, my bad. Whatever. You hit Patrick Day. Oh, God. That was a big one.
This is the first time in, I think, 6 years the Flyers have scored in the final minute of play in 2 periods of the same game. Montreal will handle one in wide of the net. Ladar off his stick, deflected it up over the glass into the net. He makes out a play that will keep the face off of the Flyer end. These games aren't easy when a goaltender doesn't see many shots, but when he's been called on, boy, he stood on his head.
Yeah. Ladar has been good, and I mean, we were talking about that. It's not.
Wait, is it still 3-1, or did we score in the third? Maybe they did because I was freaking. Maybe they did because I was talking. And that's kind of my fault because I just wanted to talk about my childhood. It's, you know what? I'm being real honest. I mean, I hate talking about my childhood like on live, but that's my thing, I guess. It's my thing, I guess. Now, I mean, what are you gonna do about it?
Philadelphia tags up.
Hold on, let me check. Let me check if they scored in the third period. Let me see. Did they? No, they didn't. Rats. Figured they wouldn't? Well, unless they did. I don't fucking know. Well, I know they scored in the second. They scored in the second period. My bad. Money.
Guys making good plays, winning a lot of draws.
Boy, this has been a really solid road effort, though, for the Flyers. I mean, they've not done anything fancy. They've kept it pretty simple.
Yeah, this is how you play with the lead. They're doing it the right way. They're not sitting back on anything. They're not just throwing the puck away. They're trying to make plays coming out of their zone. But Zegers a little slow to get up there. I'm worried about that one.
Yeah, he was hit as he was lifting it out of his own zone, fell awkwardly, and he struggles to get to the bench. And he'll get some attention there. Here comes Montreal back in on the attack. Slavkovsky carries in. Left wing pass lane. Hudson with a shot. That got right through the crease and went wide. Ladar might have got a piece of it. Dotson with a drive. He misses the net with that. It caroms off the glass right out in front, but right to Hathaway. And Philadelphia again gets into the Montreal line.
I'm not even sure if those will be tagged as shots. Both of them missed the net. And you see, still dangerous plays.
Davidoff again for the right circle was checked as he let that go. It flutters to the net, and Ladar will cover it right there. 7 minutes to play in the third.
It was a nice, subtle little play defensively by Drysdale. Davidoff got in a dangerous position there to take that shot. And just a quick little poke check, move that puck about an inch, and he fans on it.
You know, everybody looks at the offensive numbers of Jamie Drysdale, and I think that you're almost missing how good he's been defensively.
Yeah, and also being that he's got a new partner this year in Emile Andre, a rookie in his own mind, and also similar in style, so it's kind of a conundrum. They shouldn't be having the success defensively that they are, but I'll take it.
Big guys out here from Montreal, and by that we mean the high scorers, because Suzuki and Caulfield are anything but big, but they score in bunches. Bolduc, the other forward with them. Comes across center ice to Lane Hudson over the line, flipped into the middle. Caulfield shoots and a save by Vladaro. He didn't know exactly where that was. He froze, didn't want to move, and then it dropped between his legs and he gets it bummed in.
Well, this is the play, and this is the defensive structure as well. Vladar's job, take the shooter and backdoor Emil Andre as coverage. And that's what allows Vladar to get up front, get out on top of the crease, because he knows his backdoor is a responsibility of the defenseman. It's not my fault if that gets to that guy and goes in the net, he's able to front the shot.
Dan Vladar's 20th start of the season been one of his best ones of the year. Habs win the faceoff. They bank it out right point. Point to point. Hudson shot tipped right in front wide by Brendan Gallagher as the Habs come close. He's still looking for it. Wrapped into the corner on the near side. Philadelphia cleared to the line but not out. Right to Texier. His shot hit a flyer. Ristolainen blocked it. It was caught up in his equipment for a moment. Lane Hudson keeps it alive on the end wall. Gallagher can't get it in front. Gallagher's going to take a penalty. He got the stick up on Nick Cedar. Now Gallagher's going to try to sucker Cedar into evening this up. Nick Cedar says, no, I'm not that dumb.
How about the poise? Gallagher came at him with a purpose. Most guys would bite and give the guy a fresh one right in the chops. But Nick Cedar keeps his composure. He knows he's got the call against him, but how about the work from Ristolainen also on that shift? It's good to have him back.
13:51 is going to be the penalty call on Brendan Gallagher, and Philadelphia will get their third power play. They could ice it right here.
Yeah, they got to make the most of this power play. They got their top unit out there. Drysdale on the point, along with 4 forwards. Bobby Brink. Zegras is probably going to play back on that point as well.
Good composure on the part of Nick Cedar to let Gallagher go alone.
Now we get to see the video here. We see him take the stick in the mouth, and then as Gallagher comes at him, he's saying, right here, Gallagher, give me another one right on the chin. Come on, take another 2.
Flyers skated 5-on-4. Montreal wins the face-off. They lift it out at center. Zegras waits for his teammates to get onside. Right wing pass. Kate steers it into the Montreal zone, but Carrier turned in the corner. On the wall, he's sandwiched there between Brink and Cates as the Flyers try to drag that puck free. Flyers over 2 with the man advantage. Now a stick up high on Zegras from Josh Anderson, and they're both going to go. They give each other the stick. Anderson comes back at Zegras. This is not a good trade-off for the Flyers necessarily, but at least they're both going to get 2.
Nah, this is where Trevor Zegras can actually be effective. Keep those gloves on, boy. Keep that stick in front of you, and then he comes near you. Give him one in the chompers. We don't need Trevor Zegras dropping the gloves or taking the dumb ones. That happens sometimes in hockey, Tim.
Spoken by a man who took 1 or 2.
They're both going to be going here. Zegras and Anderson, and that's not a good trade-off anytime against any player when Trevor Zegras is coming off. He's one of the top guys on our power play. He's obviously the top point getter for the Philadelphia Flyers right now.
But having said that, you got a 2-goal lead. You really should not need more offense.
Yeah.
You got to be able to lock this down. Zegras and Anderson both get 2 for roughing. And it's still a 5-on-4 for Philadelphia for another minute 36. The time left on Brendan Gallagher's goal.
There's plenty of game, Timmy. They need one here on the power play. 5:45 left. Momentum's going to be in the favor of the team that does the job on this specialty teams.
Off the draw. Couturier want to connect me back to the line. York banks it free. Here's Couturier turning to the right wing corner to Michkov. Michkov headed picked away. Picked off headed the other way is Jake Evans. Evans into the Philadelphia zone. Shorthanded. He's got a man in front. And a shot lifted up over the goal by Carrier. Wow.
Some soft plays there. You can't be doing that stuff.
Well,
a little soft play like that inside the blue line. A little bit more stank on it or surety in that pass.
Michkov stays out there on this power play. I'd be afraid to go to the bench, too. York at center ice drives it in, knocked down by Fowler, but Bobby Brink couldn't find a teammate in front. Michkov played it off the skate of Joe Veleno, and here comes Montreal again on the attack, short-handed. Veleno has Suzuki going in front. He'll curl on the half wall. Gets it out left point. Montreal short-handed. They're going to rag the puck back to their own blue line.
Yeah, grab a new set of 5 guys, get them out there, see if they can muster something up here offensively.
Backhanded across Veleno, gives it up, a shot up high. Oh, a save there by Dan Vladar, and he's shaken up on that drive from Oliver Kapanen.
It looks like he got that one up on the collarbone. One of the only exposed areas on goaltenders is up around those shoulders. Sometimes they take one in that neck area. It looks like Vladar got one there. But I'll tell you, this is not the type of power play the Philadelphia Flyers want right now. Any chance that Montreal gets is just stoking that fire of momentum.
Well, and a short-handed goal allowed there would have just been a bad break.
Yeah, it would have been tough to come back.
Michkov went to the bench with some frustration, and he's fighting to get power play time.
Listen, it's not necessary just to call on Michkov, but those soft plays, especially Michkov, because they know the type of player you are. You've lost that year of grace. They know what you like to do. They know your tendencies. That's the NHL. Good teams and good players that play against top players, they want to know all your tendencies. So if you have a tendency to throw it to the middle of the ice and soft plays, they're going to be looking to pick it off. You see it just in that case there. That's why the sophomore slump is a real thing for players.
Face up in the Philadelphia end. The Flyers batted behind their goal line. Andre gets it free to Bobby Frank up the right wing, and here comes Philadelphia breaking up the ice. Tippett goes left wing. Andre to the Montreal line, gets it in deep. Evans to the corner and actually bounces right to Andre. Feeds to Drysdale over to Owen Tippett. At the right hash mark, Cates spins down low away from Noah Dobson. Dobson tried to stay with him. Cates got it behind the goal. Andre turned it back up top. Drysdale shot off a stick in front, went wide. Into the corner, and the Habs recover.
Good work by Noah Cates down low in the corner.
4 minutes left, and Father is peeking to the bench. We'll see how early they get him out. They're down 2 with 4 minutes to play. Montreal in at the Philadelphia line, and Hudson rolls it in behind the net. Jam-free on the unboards. Couturier will loft that puck to the line. Didn't get it out, but now in a second effort they will. Carl Grundstrom tried to go left wing for Couturier. The Habs snuffed that out. Hooked it back in Suzuki. Vladar stops it behind his own goal. And Rasmus Ristolainen will take an icing here as he clears up the boards and down. And Suzuki and Dvorak, the former teammates, giving each other the step.
Now they can be friends after the game, after that whistle. When they're on the ice. There's no friends out there, Timmy.
Rich, I cannot say enough about the first game back for Rasmus Ristolainen.
Yeah, that is one, it's a great addition to have back in the lineup for any team, a big mobile defenseman, but Ristolainen to have a good game in that first game is something else too. Rick talking, the coaching staff haven't seen Risto at all and haven't had the chance to work with him. Todd Reardon's going to have a nice little gift here.
With 3.5 minutes left, the Canadians have pulled goaltender Jacob Fowler. They've got the extra attacker out there. Suzuki and Caulfield over the boards with Davidoff. Davidoff gets it back to the line after a faceoff, and Lane Hudson shot deflected up over the glass behind the Flyer net. It's out of play. We get a timeout. 3:18 left in the third. A 2-goal Flyer lead, 3-1 on the Philadelphia Flyers broadcast network.
Good. Flyers are going to win soon. It looks like they will. Unless the Canadians make a comeback, but that's probably not possible right now.
empty net.
You know, I like that decision. There's too much game left and too much time on the clock.
And so with Dobson, Konechny is out with Owen Tippett. And Cates up the left wing. Davidoff drives, went to shoot. It was checked by Ristolainen, and he's going to clear the zone to center. That'll trickle down the ice. Won't have enough steam to get to the empty net.
That would have made it in. Risto would have had a goal in his first game back.
Hudson got there. Now Lane Hudson up the right wing. Gives it up, Caulfield into the middle, and upended at the side of the net was the Montreal forward. It was actually the defenseman Lane Hudson. Driven down the ice. This is another icing call against Philadelphia. But a good defensive play by Risto.
Yeah, you can boo all you want. That's a big body against the smaller body. And usually the smaller body loses in that battle.
Like you hit me.
It's a strong, yeah. Lane Hudson's, he's again, fleet of foot. He's not the burliest of man, but Ristolainen just played the body on him correctly. I think the fans are booing because he went into the boards in the manner that he did, but everybody's okay.
What a luxury to have a healthy blue line again. On the draw, Ristolainen chipped it up the far wall. Dvorak gives it up. Couturier drags it back to Dvorak. He'll find Konechny. Shoots at the empty net. He scores! Travis Konechny ices it. His 9th goal of the season into the empty goal with 1:35 remaining. And Philadelphia leads 4-1.
Yeah, it's an empty net goal. It's an easy one to finish, but it's a hard one to set up. And it's good work by Dvorak and Couturier. Coming out on this breakout, they work with each other, support each other under coverage to get this puck over to Travis Konechny, who makes no mistake potting this one in the open net, right in the center of it. And it's a 4-1 game with 1:35 left. Flyers with a good showing tonight, and they needed this game. They've been playing some good hockey, not getting the 2 points that they want, still getting points. But when you're playing good hockey, you want to win both. You want to get them both.
This is about to become their 13th come-from-behind win. 13 of their 17 wins this year were come from behind. They have a 3-goal lead.
When's it going to stop, Tim? When's it going to stop? Coming from behind, it's an uphill battle, you know? But they just seem to love it.
Flyers on the road have been so good of late. This is going to be their 7th road win in the last 10. Over to the far wall, Beck from Montreal spins free, just over a minute to play in the third period, and you can tell by the lack of enthusiasm in the crowd, this game's all but over. Shoveled on goal, Vladar's going to make one more save. Beck turns it out to the blue line. Engstrom trying to get it back to him. It's knocked down. Drysdale clear to the line, but not out. Deflected right on. Vladar makes another one. That's 22 shots for Montreal in the game. 21 saves for Vladar, who is about to win game number 12 on the year. Vladar behind the net into the corner. Rasmus Ristolainen places it back behind the goal. Andre sets up there. Well, Rasmus Ristolainen returns to the Flyer lineup with a healthy blue line. Boy, perfect timing because the Flyers really put the clamps on a good Montreal team tonight. In the corner, Hathaway gets it out left point. 20 seconds left. Cedars shot sailed wide. Went to the corner. The Habs can't clear yet. Ristolainen battling for that. He's nose to nose with Alex Texier. And the Habs finally get it free. Evans at center. Nick Delorier is back out there, too, to help police things, make sure things don't get out of hand, and that'll do it. The horn sounds, and the Flyers have done something they haven't done in over 20 years. They've won 2 games in Montreal in the same season. They beat the Canadiens in this one, 4-1.
Yeah, a really good showing by the Philadelphia Flyers in Montreal. And you said it, Tim, against a pretty good squad. Montreal's been playing some of their hottest hockey this season. They are one of the teams that is rising, and the Philadelphia Flyers, who themselves have been playing some pretty good hockey, get the 2 points in Montreal tonight in a really good game, not only by the Philadelphia Flyers, but Ristolainen, Rasmus Ristolainen, making his season debut after coming back from a long time away and a pretty bad injury. He just looked like he was mid-season form and full stride, played a really strong game in his first match.
Dan Vladar has given up 2 goals or less 13 times now in 20 starts. He was just outstanding in this one. as Dan Vladar wins his 12th game of the season. And the Flyers beat the Montreal Canadiens 4-1. The one returnee to the Flyer lineup tonight after so long was Rasmus Ristolainen. He looked like he didn't miss a beat. Risto's joined us downstairs. Rasmus, that had to be the longest 9 months of your NHL career.
Yeah, I mean, last couple of years, been a lot of injuries, and now really long one. Obviously, it's not fun, but when you play a long time, at some point they're gonna happen. So you're just gonna work your way back on the ice.
Well, Risto, Santa came a little early, gave you a good game, and it's welcome to have you back in the lineup. It's been a long time for you to be out there. Take us through that little empty net shot on net that almost made it in. You had a good outing tonight, Risto. It was a real good game. It was a pleasure to watch. Take us how you felt through it.
Thank you. I didn't try to score there. I just tried to get the puck out of the zone and maybe get a little change. I didn't trust my shot from that far.
I heard enough. Flyers win. So I'm now on 2-2 this week. How about that? That's not what I wanted. Also, looks like they actually posted first. Oh, thank God. Jordan Romero's gone. Thank you, Angels. It was episode 13 or 14? It was 13, okay. I'm only going to do this instead. What the frick? Dude, seriously? Okay. Are you freaking serious? You know what? Actually, I'm not going to play Christmas music, though, tonight. I'll pass. Thank you, Jesus Christ. Yup. Bye-bye, Jordan Romano. Whoa, where's us?
Well, there are three. I wish my Packers were in the top five. Rossi, and today we started going very, very quickly. And I gotta figure out what's going on with the North. And throw on a big shout out and thank you to UK by the end sponsors here. It is free to start off with the Green Bay mother-loving Packers. The Packers taking a tumble off the power rankings this week. And it honestly has very little to do with the actual loss to the Broncos. The Packers. now without their star player. Because you need guys like Rashawn Gary, he hasn't had a sack in 7 games, so it has been a hot minute. And when you look at the secondary and how they performed against the Broncos, Bo Nix sliced them up. When the pass rush was not able to get after him, and again, the Broncos have a very good offensive line, he was able to... up that secondary, still have a very good shot to make the postseason. Though I do think that their ceiling has been reduced a bit, losing Micah Parsons, as it makes sense, he's their best defensive player. I have to see what the Packers look like before I put them back into the power rankings. Win over the Bears on Saturday would go a very long way and shoot them back up into the power rankings. But as of right now, they fall to the 7th seed in the NFC. Let's just hope they can go up from here. Then our second honorable mention, you gotta shout out the Philadelphia...
Yes, sir. Thank you. We're honorable mentions now.
Eagles. Eagles, I'm not ready to put you back in the power rankings just yet, but...
That's okay.
Pretty good this past Sunday, as you were able to blow the doors off of the Raiders, shutting them out. The defense played well, the offense was efficient, Saquon Barkley had himself a good day, and it feels like these were the Eagles of old. Now, here's a big caveat. It's against the Raiders, who are one of the worst teams in football, so I'm not going to give the Eagles their medals just yet. They're coming off a 3-game losing streak, and so thankfully they were able to stop that skid, and luckily for them, also the Cowboys lost this past Sunday, now have a 1% chance of making the postseason. So right now, the Eagles are sitting pretty. They are likely going to wrap up the NFC East, being the first back-to-back winner in that division in God knows how long. And so...
It was 20 years.
The Eagles, they get an honorable mention. Let's see them take on a team like the Bills in a couple of weeks. And we'll see if they're going to be back up in these power rankings.
Oh, no.
And then finally, I got to do one more shout out, and that is to the purple incarnation of Satan, the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings, they of course are eliminated from the playoffs. That happened this past Sunday. But I got to give a shout out to them.
That's fair. I mean, at least you'll give them credit, you know? Purple incarnation of Satan. Oh my God. What in the holy balls is going on?
Chili was a turtle. This is meat.
Because they were able to go from the win incarnation of Satan, as J.J. McCarthy either was injured or when he played, he didn't look that great. But to put together two good performances in a row, and especially, and if J.J. in Arrowhead really making their way out of the honor, there's been developments in my absence for ambition a lesson. Flag. Flag! Stop! You're hurting him! You know what? Why don't we just call that 19, huh? Flag! 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 Ref, wake up! Wake up, Ref! Ref, you're okay.
Flag.
The Chargers are up by 3 when Gardner Minshew throws the game-sealing interception. Gardner Minshew? Why is Gardner Minshew in Patrick Mahomes? Torn ACL. Okay, that's too much, even for how we do like a 21-point deficit in our game. I'll deal with you momentarily. From this day forward, the Chiefs are known. This is wrong. I always wanted the Chiefs out of the playoffs, but not like this. Perhaps a win, Denver, would persuade me. Think about it. Beating the Packers, you'll never be called frauds again. It's everything I ever wanted. Ever since Peyton Manning, we've been on the QB carousel around and around and around. No. So be it. Denver. Micah Parsons tears his ACL. What? Christian Watson injured. No. As well as Zach Tom and Evan Williams.
Hey.
If you do not wish to be loved, then you will be hated. You did this. Wait, what? Ever since Super Bowl 32.
2 of 32. How long is he even around?
You've been planning this. Okay, you have to admit that's a bit ridiculous, right? This is all your fault. You're literally hearing the Patriots say it right now. And worst of all, during the holy month. Toyota-thon. Yeah, that tracks. Unbelievable. Bills. I believe I said we were up 21-0 on the verge of winning the AFC East. And now, to seal your fate, Drake May, enough!
Enough. Damn, Shrouds. Enough.
General Mills, your mate. It's over, Patriots. I have the high ground.
You wish.
Sorry, I thought we were still doing the Star Wars thing, so I'll just take the loss. Shall I remind you, General Mills, who runs this? I told you that is not my name.
Strouds. The Strouds again. They're back.
It's the Strouds.
They're back. They're back.
And in the name of the National Football League, you're under arrest. Are you threatening me, Master Strouds? The scriptwriter will decide your fate. I am the scriptwriter. Not yet.
All right, Nico. I'm gonna let you outside. Come on. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Let me get up. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. running back. Ooh. What that cup really isn't, guys. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end the stream here. So Flyers did play today. They did win. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for stream of Wednesday morning. The requirement test. So we'll see you guys next. Have a great rest of Tuesday night. And yeah, there's always peace now.